Hello, I'm Caleb Rempel, and I'm here to talk about how we support students on the autism spectrum. All right. The one big thing I want to start off with is that we need to understand that no two autistic students are going to be the same. As Dr. Stephen Shore says, if you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism. All right, social relationships are the first talking point. We know that it is difficult to have good social relationships with people on the autism spectrum. Some have difficulty reading social cues, they can avoid eye contact, and they may not understand when other students are disinterested in their topics. So again, all of these are going to be different from child to child, but we can't expect them to have the same social awareness as other students may. Their communication can it can go anywhere from nonverbal to highly verbal. Some even use sign language. There can be challenges with sarcasm and tone. And as an example, they might hit. I've seen some bite, throw fits. There's a lot of things that can happen, but they're really trying to indicate what they need help with, and we need to be looking for those signals. So their interests can be super narrow and intense. Oftentimes they're very intensely focused on certain specific interests. I've seen some kids on the spectrum be very interested in Star Wars, dinosaurs, cars, music. There's a lot of different things that it can be, but this dominates their thought process and their conversation progress. They talk about what they know, and they are very interested in I guess whatever they're intensely interested in. It's going to be different from child to child. So basically, we can use this to increase their motivation. We want to provide positive rewards, and this can be very rewarding for children to focus on their interests. Okay, so stress is a big thing here. They're easily stressed by changes, noises, and sensory input. So anyone or most students on the autism spectrum, as I've seen in my classroom, they struggled at the beginning of the year because as I was a new teacher, I did not have very much structure. I truthfully didn't know exactly what I was doing. And there was a lot of changes going on, not a lot of firm structure. So this made it extremely difficult for a lot of my students. So we need to have those structures in place, but along with that, have certain things put in for when structure goes out the window, which happens sometimes, as a way to self-regulate. There's a lot of diversity in ASD. One student could need full para support at all times, while another student could be able to do most things on their own. So we need to understand building structure will reduce anxiety and foster independence. I've noticed such an incredible difference with students with ASM. I've noticed them in structured classrooms thrive. My teammate teacher had a very structured, organized classroom, and the students just simply didn't struggle in there. They knew what was the expectation, they knew what to do, and it was the same every day. They thrived in there. In my classroom, it was chaotic, it was loud, there was a lot of different things going on, a lot of changes happening day to day, week to week, and truthfully, they did not thrive in the first semester, and we struggled. But this is where, when you are struggling, like I had to do, collaborate with families, paras, and specialists. We especially met with the families to see what works for them at home and what are ways that we can positively motivate our students and their children. Responding to behavior. So, behavior equals communication. We use positive supports, like I've been saying on the previous slides, and provide a quiet space. For a lot of our students, we have to use several breaks. This will be a 5-minute go get a snack from one of our other rooms. There's also what we try is go do a job for us. So we say, so-and-so, would you take this down to the principal for me? I need this note delivered. And they would do that. And that gives them a chance to breathe and do something less stressful. Then we're going ahead and fostering small social interactions. Use peer buddies, use students that are leaders that know how to work with people on the ASM spectrum. Use peer buddies, stories, modeling, and then really positively reward those small wins. I've seen such big improvement when we celebrate those small wins, and then they just get to keep building on those and building on those and building on those. And you will get to see the joy on their faces simply light up the room that they are in. So communicating with students, respect the preferred methods, even if it seems unconventional. Use visual supports and keep language simple. So that is what I've got for you today. The final tips that I'll give is, like we've been talking about, predictable routines equal less stress. So if you're unprepared like I was, take the extra time to talk with teachers who know how to give structure and build that structure in. Build lessons around interests. This is where you get to have some fun. Once you know the curriculum, again, I keep referring back to my own experience where I didn't know the curriculum, so I'm kind of just going by the book every day. But if you know the curriculum, throw in some fun projects that are surrounding their interests. And then promote empathy and understanding in the classroom. So it means we're not barking at them every time something goes wrong. It means we're not yelling at them, calling out their name, and berating them in front of people. Instead, we use a soft tone. We talk to them, and we positively reward the good things rather than harping on the bad. So this is where I would leave the floor for questions, for if any paras have questions, and we could discuss. So, all right, thank you for listening.